thought I would put out a quick video on the idea of supporting our kids with their peer relationships. And I mean, I think this is true for any age, but I'm really right now thinking about kids in elementary school and middle school. I've recently been asked to do a presentation for students in grade 4 or 5 to talk about healthy relationships. And while I can talk about it with them, the concepts are actually quite difficult for them to practice. In other words, these skills are skills that require a great deal of emotional maturity, and children are immature. They act like a bunch of kids. And I mean, I'm not talking just about bullying here. I'm talking about just how kids can be kind of cruel and thoughtless in the school ground. And, different temperaments are affected by that. Highly sensitive kids or cautious kids who struggle with social cues can really become overwhelmed by a lot of the peer interactions. And so there's a couple of things that I would like you to think about if you're the parent of a child in elementary school or middle school. Number one, your kids need to know that you can handle what it is that they're going through without you getting activated in your own nervous system. And if you've got a history of, maybe being bullied or having difficulty or being a super cautious kid when you were young or whatever that might be careful that that doesn't get in the way of you being able to just be that steadfast listener for your child. So, number one, your kids need to know you can handle what it is that they're telling you. And number two, they need you to listen. Just listen without taking over, advice giving, solving their problem for them. How are they feeling? What's the story? And don't rush into fixing things. So, a lot of people struggle when I say this. Think about it. If you're upset about something, do you feel like immediately solving the problem? Maybe not. Maybe you just need to get it off your chest and know that someone really understands what you're going through. So, if you're going to move on to problem solving with your child, ask them, would it be okay if we did some brainstorming? Ask them if they'd like to figure out a solution, and they might say no. And if they do, you need to respect that. If they say, yeah, okay, because they're feeling more regulated because they've been able to share what happened and you listened, go into a coaching position. Ask them first, what do you really want here? What matters to you? And feed that back. Well, it sounds like you'd really like to feel comfortable at school and know that Johnny's not going to pull your jacket. Do I have that right? Yeah. And then you want to be able to ask them, well, what has worked for you before? What could work? So you're pulling out the resources from them. Now, this is going to help them with resilience because number one, you're respecting that they could have some good ideas. And number two, you're asking them to tap into what has actually worked for them before. Now, at first, they might say, I don't know. Sometimes you can say, well, if you did know, what would the answer be? It's amazing how that can turn things around. But if they say, I don't know, that's a pretty good indicator that they're needing a little more practice at problem solving and being coached rather than having their problems taken over. So, what could this look like? What has worked before? And then ask what else could work. Ask it 4 or 5 times because that's when you start getting into creative problem solving. And you can throw in a couple of your own ideas, and then you can actually make a plan with your child. It's great for kids to come up with snappy comebacks, to be able to think about what their body is saying to other people. Can they show confident body language? Even if they don't feel like it in the moment, if they can practice that with you and have a snappy comeback, that can assist them in the schoolyard. And these are kind of the life skills that they need. I don't think learning how to be a good listener and making I statements is accessible to a lot of kids at a very young age. And I will say this, take a life seminars. Parents are learning about children's development, temperament, communication, boundaries, all that good stuff so that you get to role model conflict resolution, healthy relationships, and effective communication to your kids with your kids. Lifeseminars.com.